Hi guys, Eryk here from the Combat Informer channel. This is going to be my first fight prediction video beginning with UFC 203. But before we get into that, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been a huge MMA fan since early 2000s. Before that, I was a huge boxing fan as well as a wrestling fan. So you're going to see a lot of videos in regards to those sports on my channel. So if you like it at the end of this video, subscribe to it, and a lot more videos to come in the next few weeks. So I'm gonna get started with the preliminary card. I'm gonna just read off the who I think is gonna win, and then in the main card I'll go into a bit more detail into why I think those fighters will win. So beginning with Drew Dober versus Jason Gonzalez, I think Drew Dober is gonna take that, just more experienced. CB Dalloway versus Brandimir Barroso. Same case here. I think CB Dalloway will win this. He just has more experience, has had tougher opponents, so I definitely think he will take this. Yancy Medeiros versus Sean Spencer. This is a pretty even fight. I've never been too impressed with Yancy Medeiros. On the other hand, Sean Spencer has had some spurts here and there, so I'm going to go with him. And then we have Ian McCall versus Ray Borg. Ian McCall at one time was a guy who could have main evented a UFC event. He actually has given Demetrius Johnson his toughest task in the UFC, so I am definitely going to go with Ian McCall. That is, of course, if he shows up. There's been times where he is not very good. He struggles. He doesn't show up. He doesn't live up to his potential. But I think Saturday he'll be able to do that. So I'm going to take him. Then we have Brett Tavares versus Caio Maglesh. Again, Brett Tavares, another man who, like Yancy Medeiros, has not impressed me too much, so I'm going to take Caio Maglesh. I think he's just a little bit more well-rounded, so I'm going to go with him. And then we have Nick Lentz versus Michael Bride. This is a match between a wrestler and a submission guy here. Michael McBride has won most of his fights by submission, but I don't think he'll be able to pull it off against Nick Lentz. Nick Lentz more experienced. He's a wrestler. He knows how to defend a lot of those submissions. He's fought tougher competition as well, so I'm going to go with Nick Lentz there. So beginning with the main card here, we have Jessica Eye versus Betch Correa. Both of these girls are coming off losses. They're trying to get back on the winning track here. Jessica Eye, I believe, lost to Sarah McMahon, as well as Juliana Pena and Misha Tate. We have Betch Correa, who obviously lost to Ronda Rousey. So these girls are trying to get back on the winning track here. I think that Jessica Eye will win this. She's just more well-rounded. I think Betch's wins have come against lesser opponents. Her early fights in the UFC weren't against tough competition like they have been as of late. I think Jessica Eye has been more consistent before the couple losses she has. She just has looked better all around in her game. Her wrestling, her striking looks pretty decent, so I'm going to go with her. Moving on now to JoJo versus Jessica Andrade. Jordan Calderwood. This is a match at strawweight here. Although I like JoJo a lot, her striking is awesome. I am going to take Jessica Andrade because she is dropping down from bantamweight, and in her last two fights now that she's fought at the strawweight division, she has looked amazing. I think she's going to just be stronger and be able to throw JoJo around the way she wants, to maneuver her how she wants. She's going to be too strong for JoJo, although JoJo is really a well-versed fighter, really good stand-up. I don't think she's going to have enough to defeat Jessica Andrade on Saturday night, so I'm going to go with Jessica Andrade for the win there. Then we have Uriah Faber versus Jimmy Rivera. This is an awesome fight here. This is going to be nothing but action. I think Uriah Faber does not lose when he is not fighting for a title. On the other hand, he is on his way down, the end of his career. And Jimmy Rivera is coming up here. This guy is an awesome fighter. He's a big prospect. With that being said, I don't think he's going to have enough to beat Uriah Faber. I think although Uriah Faber is on his way down, he still has enough to beat this guy, Jimmy Rivera. So I'm going to go with Uriah Faber. I will say one thing though. Jimmy Rivera will be a prospect and maybe he'll fight for the title in the next 2 years. I think he'll definitely be up there as a top contender in the division. So I will say that. Now moving on to one of the fights that a lot of people are looking forward to, CM Punk versus Mickey Gall. Guys, CM Punk is not winning this fight, no matter what anybody tells you. You can't just come into the sport if there were 6, 7, 8 months and think that you can keep up with a guy who's been doing this for years. I've been watching the show, the CM Punk show, in which the cameras followed him throughout his training camp and see how he has progressed. And the guy he's fighting, Mickey Gall, actually mentioned something that stuck with me. He said, CM Punk still looks like he has to think about what he throws. Think about the way he's performing in the cage when he's sparring, or what he's seen from him. I've done this my whole life. I don't have to think of it; it just comes natural to him, which I agree with. It's definitely something that you can't just pick up, and I think CM Punk's gonna find that out the hard way. I don't think this goes past 2 rounds. Mickey Gall's gonna win by maybe in 3 minutes into the fight, submission. But if CM Punk wins this fight, I will be very, very surprised. And then we have the co-main and main events we have here. Fabricio Werdum versus Travis Browne. Both of these coming off losses, both of these guys. Travis Browne losing to Cain Velasquez, and then we have Fabricio Werdum obviously losing his title to the guy in the main event, Stipe Miocic. I think Werdum will win this fight because he is just more well-rounded. I think he has looked awesome his past few fights. The last fight against Stipe, I think he just came in too confident. Didn't take Stipe as serious as he should have, overlooked him. But I think in this fight, Travis Browne is going to get back on his horse and defeat Travis Browne in the late fight, maybe and beginning of the 3rd round, or maybe a unanimous decision. But definitely will win this match if he doesn't defeat him by knockout in the late rounds there. He will win by unanimous decision. And then we go to Stipe Miocic versus Alistair in the main event for the heavyweight title. Man, this is going to be a good one too. Both of these guys have wins over Arlovski. They both fought Junior Dos Santos. Alistair Overeem beat him. Stipe lost him in a very close fight, which I actually thought he could have won, could have gone his way. So it's going to be a close fight. I think both of these guys are gonna land early in the fight, but I definitely think Stipe Miocic is gonna take over in the late rounds, 4th or 5th rounds. He's gonna have more stamina in him. He's not gonna get as tired, I don't think, as Alistair. I don't think Alistair will get tired in the late rounds, and Stipe will be able to take over the fight, take him down, ground and pound him, and maybe even finish him in the late rounds. But if he doesn't finish him, he'll definitely win this by a unanimous decision. So there you have it, guys. Those are my picks for UFC 200. Very excited for this fight. It's actually one day after my birthday. Have the day off, so I'll definitely be watching. It's going to be an awesome night. So I'm just going to go over my picks really quick again, beginning with the first fight of the evening: Drew Dober over Jason Gonzalez. I picked CB Dalloway over Francimir Barroso. I took Sean Spencer over Yancy Medeiros. I took Ian McCall over Ray Borg. I took Kyle Megalesh versus over Brad Tavares. Nick Lentz over Michael Bride. Jessica I over Betch Korea. I took Jessica Andrade over Jojo Calderwood. I took Uriah Faber over Jimmy Rivera, and Mickey Gall over CM Punk. Fabricio Werdum over Travis Browne, and the main events of the evening, I took Stipe Miocic over Alistair Overeem. So hopefully you guys enjoy the fights this Saturday, and if you like the video, subscribe to the Combat Informer, and a lot more videos to come. I have Wrestle Crate coming in next month, so I will do an unboxing video for that as well. So stay connected and stay up to date with my videos if you enjoy them. See you next time.